Hey Cancers, it is Chris from Embodying Light here to do your December 2017 reading. So, a lot of different energies going on, and we're going to get into that in a second. But first, I want to just talk about some of the things that are shifting on the channel and on social media. So, we're still listed here on YouTube as In the Rough Crystals. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you've noticed that we have already shifted from In the Rough Crystals to Embodying Light. So we are transitioning as well. We still haven't transitioned quite yet on YouTube, but we will be shifting from In the Rough Crystals to Embodying Light here as well. You can still contact me. You can still email about personal readings via intheroughcrystals@gmail.com. We will shortly be shifting to embodyinglight@gmail.com. Just so you guys know and you have a heads up. So that's kind of some of the things that are going on as we're kind of shifting. So shortly here, everything on all of our social media aspects, including YouTube, including websites, and so forth, will be transitioning over to Embodying Light. So this reading here is for Cancers, and that includes Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, and Cancer Rising. And of course, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave behind what does not. And if you would like a personal reading that is guided more towards your personal situation and your personal energy, feel free to email me at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com, of course. So I want to talk about some of the energies that it's kind of going on. So first and foremost, we are in the 11/11 energies. This opened up starting around like November 1st, a few days before the energy came in. Then we had the 11/11 gateway on November 11th, and this energy closes and comes to its completion on January 11th. I think in the other videos I may have said January 1st, but I actually meant January 11th. But 11/11 energy is really about is a gateway to open up to transition, transformation, change, leveling up, and spiritual maturity. Some people may consider it to be like ascension energy, and kind of stepping up in just different conscious levels and conscious awareness. And then we also have Mercury retrograde coming in. So we're already in pre-shadow for Mercury retrograde. Mercury actually goes retrograde December 3rd and goes direct December 22nd. So that's right before the holidays. So just a little bit about retrograde if you're not familiar with it. Mercury retrograde is a sign of communication. So typically that's why we have people who tend to be shooken up and they become like very fearful of retrograde, because a lot of communication and technology failures can happen, which throws a lot of people out of sync, out of balance, because we are a very like technology driven society. Also, if you are in a period where you're starting a business or maybe even buying a house, something that involves like signing contracts during retrograde, it's not really a good time to do that, because there's something that you may overlook or you may not be able to see, that once Mercury goes direct would be very detrimental to your situation. So if you can delay that and put that off, it's highly recommended. But outside of that, Mercury retrograde serves as a period of being able to review past situations, past contracts, past energies, whether past in this lifetime or previous lifetime, just cycles and patterns that are up for review and for healing. So when Mercury is in the pre-shadow phase, if you could look at just Mercury moving along certain star patterns and constellations in the sky, and this is You'll understand more of this if you work within your birth chart, because that's going to really help you understand more of how it's going to affect you personally. But anything that's coming up right now that's triggering you, that's coming up in your thoughts, maybe even that you're dreaming about, is just kind of giving you a little bit of a pre-signal, like kind of like a pre-game show of what you're going to be working through during retrograde. So anything that we're moving in the star map right now is the highlighting the things that what we're working at. That Mercury's going to station before it goes retrograde, and then it's going to move backwards in the same energy that we're in right now. So we're going to review those themes and those patterns and those triggers that are coming up, so we can clear that energy that isn't working for us, that isn't serving us. And typically the most intense energy from Mercury retrograde periods actually comes from when Mercury stations. So when it's stationing and preparing to go direct, and when it's stationing and preparing to move forward again, is where we feel most of the intensity. And so that's just a little bit about retrograde. Of course, feel free, if you're not familiar with retrograde, to, do some research on your own. But that energy also plays into the factor of kind of just what's going on with every sign and every person in the month of December, because those energies are in play. So I want to get into the reading for Cancer, and I feel just inner child here. For Cancer, I'm feeling like inner child healing. More specifically for Cancer, I'm feeling the inner child consciousness between the ages of 7 to 12. So if you are a Cancer, take a look at anything that you may have experienced as a child during those ages that could have had a significant impact, or any traumatic experiences, because those are some of the themes that are going to be coming up. I feel like this part of your inner child consciousness kind of wants to come out and play. She's been hiding. We have the Moon card here. So again, this is an illusion, illusions and veils. These are cycles that need to be healed, so your inner child can number one, heal and be at her full, playful, joyful expression. I have the Page of Wands here as well, and this is the inner child that wants to come out. The Wands are about action, about movement, about fiery energy, creative energy as well. And this is the inner child that wants to come out and play. This Page of Wands, this part of your consciousness that's kind of, I feel like that's been kind of, I don't know if I want to say dumbed down, that's been kind of like in hiding, that's kind of been in hiatus from some layer of trauma that you've experienced, wants to come out, because she contains some of your most important gifts that you need to utilize at this time, stepping into your highest purpose, your mission, and how you can be of service in the world. So for some Cancers, I feel like, because Cancers are very sensitive, and being that we have the Moon energy here, which the Moon rules Cancers, I feel like a lot of emotional energy can come up. I see a lot of Cancers just really having a lot of emotional breakdowns, a lot of tears, a lot of crying here with Cancer as well. So Cancer is also about family units. There could also be some healing within that 7 to 12 consciousness around family structures, or just family units, anything that really involves that energy that needs to be healing, that could be coming up and is being triggered, patterning within the ancestral, the family lineage, the bloodline. Again, this is energy that we're clearing, that has been passed down lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So look at where these themes resonate with you. You could see that the energy, you may see like kind of like repeating cycles or patterns within like the matriarchal lineage or the patriarchal lineage. It just depends on your specific situation. However, I do feel strongly this is a matriarchal energy where this healing is taking place. Whatever this energy is that needs to be healed, it's something very traumatic that's really suppressed this part of this inner child consciousness, and something that's going to take a lot of strength, a lot of courage to face. I'm also saying that this has had a significant impact on the teenage consciousness as well. So I feel like a little bit, I feel like in this aspect, the teenage part of the consciousness is kind of trying to parent or heal this 7 to 12 consciousness here. She has a little bit more insight, a little bit more understanding, and she has a little bit more strength or a backbone to her. And there's always some layer or level of our consciousness that is stronger, that is more mature, whereas there's other aspects of our experience and development that's not fully ripe. So I feel like kind of this teenage consciousness is kind of coming back and really helping to heal and helping to kind of parent a little bit this 7 to 12 consciousness. So I feel like a lot of karmic cycles, a lot of illusions, a lot of emotional things that you cancers have been kind of hiding from are coming to a head. I see this energy really coming to a culmination point on the next full moon that's coming up. So it's really going to open up these energies. I feel like the floodgates are going to come out, and this may come up just from your emotional experiences, or there could be certain people, certain situations, or even family or familial units or energy coming forth to confront certain things from this specific period of time in the experience of things. I feel like there's a lot of messages coming through. Cancers are very sensitive to psychic energy in connection with higher knowing, higher self, spirit guides. Cancers are very, very intuitive. I feel like at this time, Cancer, trust your intuition. It's coming through very, very strong. Your guides, your guardian angels, whatever resonates with you, it's really speaking to you in this period of time to really help you heal, to really point you in the direction that you need to move in. A lot of wisdom coming in, specifically around things that you haven't been able to see, you haven't had clarity about. I do feel a defensive energy here with some cancers, so you could see a rise in very again, defensive energy. I feel there could be because cancers, especially as a water sign, if you emotionally suppress things, this can create a lot of trauma, because you can also experience, just like depression, you can experience anxiety, you can also experience anger. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of triggers emotionally for cancers, and whatever is triggering you, especially from an external standpoint, it's very important to look at what it's showing you about yourself at this time. Because again, like I've said to all of the other signs, like whatever we experience outside of ourselves is just a reflection of what those things are trying to teach us about ourselves in the areas that we need to heal in. So pay attention to what's stepping forward, what's coming in at this time. I do feel like for some cancers, a lot of limited beliefs around religious viewpoints, of religious standpoints, even spirituality, philosophical principles that you may have held, or even your lineage, or you may have held for many cycles, is being challenged here. There's a lot of information coming through, a lot of insight. I feel like a lot of cancers. I feel like a lot of cancers in this situation have been, raised in their family units to have certain belief systems, And they've been really afraid to step away from this and really step into their own mode, their own way of being, and really exploring their own system of beliefs. And I feel like for a lot of cancers, they're going to be stepping out of that. They're going to begin to see that, whatever particular system of belief that they've held with them for so long hasn't been working for them. It doesn't resonate with them. It's not in alignment for what they're moving. So I feel like a lot of cancers are going to be kind of seeking, in a sense, trying to find things that work for them, things that resonate with them, and that could be different for every single cancer. On our path to, enlightenment, we always shift and we go with the flow of the energy. So, in one period, in one phase or cycle of our experience, we can have a certain belief system and it works for us at that particular period of time. And then as we move into a next cycle, it may be something else that we adopt or we shift into and release the old cycle because we've learned what we needed to, we've mastered what we needed to out of that particular set of beliefs and that particular set of teachings. So, we move forward from that space. Again, I feel like this energy where cancers are coming up against a lot of people who are challenging their way of being, their thought forms. For some cancers, I feel like kind of like this suppressed emotional energy may lead them to acting out, which can end up, having them kind of like in a court situation. I'm seeing like some kind of legal issues with some cancers. But on the overall, I feel like there's going to be people in situations that are placed in the path of Cancerian energies and, Cancerian people that are challenging their belief systems. I'm also getting some energy here surrounding like abundance and manifestation. I feel like a lot of cancers are having a hard time really creating what they really want to. This isn't to say that if you don't have abundance in your life. This is to say that you're having a difficult time cultivating what is meant for you, what your mission, what your path, your path actually is. And my guides are saying that cancers need to define what abundance and prosperity really is. And they're also saying that cancers can really get tied up and caught up into associating abundance and material wealth and prosperity with money. But what they're being asked to look at is like what what is true prosperity, what is true wealth, because monetary wealth is it fades. Not saying it isn't important, but it fades. So what is truly of value to you? What is it that you truly want in your life? Because there's so many other things that fall under the umbrella of prosperity and wealth. And because you're out of alignment with this energy, you're having a hard time understanding yourself. You're having a hard time really cultivating and bringing in the energy that wants to come in. I'm also kind of getting like a genie in a lamp, like the Aladdin energy. Like, what is it that you really wish for? What is it that you really want in your life? Again, be clear about it. What you want to call in. I'm also seeing energy around kind of preparing yourself. This could be, again, looking at the moon card, utilizing the moon cycles to call in the abundance that you want to, utilizing the moon cycles to clear out energy that's no longer of service, and also utilizing the moon cycles for abundance. This could be for some cancers creating like a sacred honoring ritual, maybe if you're into feng shui, setting up a wealth corner in your home. If you have a meditation altar, dedicating that space to things that you want to include within that. for yourself that are in resonance with kind of bringing in abundance and bringing in the light that you want to cultivate. I'm feeling for Cancers for December. There is some type of ritual, some type of ceremony, some type of just kind of like an honoring ritual keeps coming up that can be utilized, that can be called in to bring in what you want to cultivate and what you want to create. Let's see what other patterns that we see here. I'm also, again, I'm seeing themes around just religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, being kind of shifted here. Divine guidance, spirits coming in and bringing in insight, things that you weren't able to see, that were creating blocks within your being. This is really releasing this patterning. And I can't remember what other sign got this card, the Galactic card. But I feel like there is, again, there's this divine energy that's coming in, this energy from source is trying to give you insight into who you truly are, is trying to give you insight to the bigger picture. And I feel like Cancers are going to have a difficult time a little bit with working through this patterning. Like, I feel like they it's not even so much that they don't want to see. I feel like Cancers are not really understanding what is happening. I feel like there's a defensive energy here with Cancers, especially with this authority figure. And I feel like Cancers are more focused on kind of fighting people off that are coming in opposition with them, instead of, or versus like really looking at what this energy is teaching them. So Cancers, it's really important. Don't get caught up in the ego wars here. Don't get caught up in the battle, because if you get caught up in this battle, this ego battle here, you're going to miss the bigger picture. You're going to miss the opportunity for healing, especially for your inner child, especially for that little boy, that little girl that wants to really come out and play, that has a lot of gifts to really offer you, an insight to offer you into who you truly are. Again, this galactic energy here, and this is past life gifts here, with this galactic energy, and this energy is in it is in reverse, or it's I don't like to use the word negatively aspected, but it's not favorably aspected. But again, you have to understand that, we have free will, we have choice, and we can choose to shift this energy. We can choose to not allow ourselves to be distracted by our emotions, to be distracted by outside things, but to continue to look at this period as an opportunity for growth. I feel like it can go either way. For anyone that's a Cancer, you can choose to work through this energy. In this aspect, you're going to unlock so much abundance and so much prosperity in your life. And you're also going to begin to have more of your gifts, your divine gifts, open into you. I feel like there's going to be a lot of memories activated when you're clearing this energy. And I feel like for others, there's a repeating of this cycle that's going to happen. So, again, like, this cycle can end up getting repeated in 2018. I'm feeling for Cancer. So it's really important to be strong, to face up, to have the courage to deal with this energy, and really challenge the ego. Really ask yourself why you're reacting the way that you're acting in, specific situations. I'm not getting like this is focused on a specific thing like relationships or whatever. I feel like this really has to do with the inner workings of the Cancer. It's not really about relationships or that sort of thing. I think this is really about an opportunity for Cancers to heal some trauma within their inner child consciousness here. So that's what I have coming through for Cancers for the month of December. Just be strong, have the courage, kind of just really keep the ego in check here and really allow yourself to see what this period is trying to teach you about yourself. It's a beautiful opportunity, especially if you can work with this energy and heal your inner child. There's so much light, there's so many gifts, there's so much opportunity for you to heal, to step into your power. I do feel a connection here with Cancer, with working through some sacral energy and some solar plexus energy here. So hopefully that resonates with you. Again, if you would like a personal reading, you can email me at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com. So I won't be seeing you guys to January of 2018. So everyone have a happy holiday and many blessings, guys. And I will see you in 2018.